Philippe Morin from EXFO here at Mobile World Congress in 2017 Barcelona, and with me George Malim from VanillaPlus, who's a great writer, very knowledgeable individual in all sorts of technology. And today, being in Mobile World Congress, if you had to name 2 or 3 major themes coming out of what you've seen in the last 3 days, what would it be?
Okay, well this is fun. I'm enjoying the role reversal of being asked questions instead of having to ask the questions. So I guess the 3 key themes are 5G. It's very early, obviously it's not going to be a commercial reality for a long time, but the work is starting to be done to figure out how it's going to be deployed. I guess we won't see much until 2020, but and then probably only limited commercial rollouts. But that's the reality, and it is coming. Operators probably not that happy about having to invest in the next generation quite so soon after 4G. So that's one thing. The other thing is the continued move towards virtualization. NFV and SDN, we will end up with the software-defined operator.
Especially with 5G too, right?
Especially with 5G, the two are kind of interlinked. But you asked for 3 things, so I thought I'd make separate. With that move that's underway, it's going to totally change the culture, processes, and cost base that operators currently have in their business model, and that's great because a big change is needed. However, lots of new skills, lots of new approaches needed to make it work. And my third thing will be the dash to monetize more effectively from the current infrastructure, which is starting to dwindle. Someone told me a statistic that the cost of providing a bit of data is now greater than the revenue that can be generated from that bit. So operators' core service providing mobile data is now in some markets actually a loss-making issue. So margins under great pressure, people looking for new services.
And new applications around it.
Certainly.
So off the 3 trends, I'm surprised you didn't, and especially as one of your great knowledge is IoT. IoT didn't show up. Is it because it'd be a 4th trend, or just not as strong this year compared to the previous year?
I think IoT's still developing hugely, but it's still very early days. The interoperability has huge questions. We're only really seeing limited, fairly self-contained deployments, so we're not seeing the holistic ecosystem of IoT devices, which is where the real value will come. And again, it comes back to being reliant on automation, which has issues. There's also issues around security that can't be ignored, that will always exist, but work's being done on that. I think I probably didn't mention it as one of the top 3 because I see it this year as more of a continuation of the excitement last year.
That started last year.
Yeah, so I don't see it as a big new light bulb moment. But maybe that's the theme of the entire show, actually, that it's kind of just continuation of things that were set out last year. So that's really what I see.
So let me get back to your second theme, which is again from the SDN, the evolution of SDN, virtualization of the network. Knowing what we do at EXFO, providing a service assurance capability into this virtualized world. Anything that you can share with us in terms of some of the key main focus activities that will have to happen in order for this virtualization to happen and get deployed?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really having an ability to get quite rich insights from the data. That is the most difficult thing. It's understanding in this dynamic environment how the different systems will interrelate with each other, and having that in a way that can be drilled down and utilised more efficiently. So I think that's the biggest challenge, is to say we have much deeper and richer data requirements to operate virtual environments. So that's a big challenge, and tool providers such as yourself will I know what we were talking about earlier, you have systems available that can achieve that granularity and deliver the insights that are so vital.
The migration, you talked about the year 13, which is legacy network, is going to be there for a while. They got to find a way to manage and get more out of it. But as well as they migrate to a 5G network, which is much more virtualized, what's your view on the timing that it's going to take to that? Because it's a pretty complex migration, marrying the two networks is going to be also a big part of that. So what are we talking about? I mean, you said 2020 is when you think 5G is going to start appearing, but that whole migration, what's the kind of timing you're seeing?
Sorry, the migration to 5G or
So
the
the migration
through
to 5G
virtualization?
and through virtualization.
I think virtualization begins with fairly discrete use cases. So there'll be virtualized voice over LTE, there'll be virtualized CPE in the enterprise market to a degree, maybe even in the home market as well, which will be useful. They'll reduce the cost base, but that's not really the true promise. The true promise of virtualization comes when we get to a fully virtualized environment, and that is years away. I think later than 2020, practically speaking. We're seeing virtualized evolved packet core more frequently. That's one of the
starting to happen.
One of the early use cases for sure. But that holistic vision, which is really what the telecoms industry needs to reset its cost base to a sustainable level, is 5 years, 10 years away even. Some would say longer. So I do, and it will depend from operator to operator on the pace of deployment, but it's going to be later than 2020, but probably before 2030.
So finally, here at EXFO we believe that service assurance will be really play a critical role in this evolution to 5G and virtualization. And we like to say we're here to help boost our customers' network IQ. Any thoughts on that? Does that make sense? Is it aligned to what you see the market going?
Yeah, I mean, I think the network IQ idea is really elegant, because the network has really been fairly dumb, because it's just been a connection between 2 points or 3 points, if it's a collaborative effort or whatever it takes. But the network has been dumb, and the operators have been accused of being dumb pipes. But in the virtualized world, the network becomes intelligent, and operators need to have intelligence into that intelligent network in order to operate it effectively and provide all the good services that people want. So increasing the IQ of the network from being the dumb pipe to being the intelligent bearer of all manner of different services, whether it's IoT, whether it's 5G, whether it's one of the new low power wireless technologies, doesn't really matter, apart from the intelligence has to be abstracted from it and placed into a unit that can enable the automation. That's the real thread here, is the intelligence must feed the systems that enable the network to be run automatedly, so it can bend and shape, waggle and dance according to whatever the customer demand is.
And be intelligent.
And be intelligent, absolutely.
George, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Philippe. It was great, great pleasure.